What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Let me mute that. For some reason, I forgot to mute the YouTube side of it. But appreciate all of you hanging out, waiting for the stream to start. For those of you watching the replay, make sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. So when this happens, you can take part in the chat with us. So I knew I wanted to stream today, and literally, I was about to start my motorcycle and head to the gym to do cardio. Today's one of those active recovery, active rest days where I just do some cardio. Body's a little beat up and sore. Didn't even hit the bag today. I was literally just going to do some steady state on the treadmill. That's it. And I get a text from Randy, fragrance dude, telling me that Ralph's Club Elixir is up on Ralph Lauren's site as well as Macy's. And I'm like, I'm moving in 2 weeks. I'm not buying nothing right now. So now that's in my head for the ride to the gym. Get there, I'm on the treadmill. I was setting up my live stream and I was like, let me just go look and see how much it is. And it was like $140. I went to Macy's, $140 for the 75 ml. Shit. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. So I text Randy, blamed him, cursed at him a little bit, and was literally setting up this live stream. So I went ahead and made the title the way it was and sent him the thumbnail. And I said, I'm blaming you right away for this purchase. So in kind of celebration, I guess, of the purchase, I decided to go with Ralph's Club Parfum today for my scent of the day, which I do deem superior to the regular Eau de Parfum release. Though, even though this says Parfum, this is an Eau de Parfum too, just a little bit higher oil concentration versus the original release. But this is smoother, spicier. It's even a little smoky. I get a little bit of a resinous feel to it. Beautiful fragrance. So if they manage to top this, I'll be happy, because I think the second release was better than the first. I'm hoping the third release is better than this one. Iris, incense, and patchouli are the three notes that I know of that they released. I love that core group of notes. So if you mix that with the core DNA of Ralph's Club, I think it's going to be something special. I really do. I'm not surprised to see him jump on the Elixir train, but so far, Elixir releases have been great. So very high hopes for that one. And I have 5 people pulled up, Randy's, who we're going to start with here in just a moment, obviously, because it's his fault for this topic today. He influenced me. Had he not said anything, I probably wouldn't have bought the damn fragrance today. So he influenced me. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But I got 5 people picked out specifically. But let's get into everybody's scent of the day. Cottrell's wearing Invictus Platinum. Sedley this morning. Divine Asylum, the Elysium clone this afternoon. And it's definitely not Jeremy. Admittedly, Jeremy's drilled in everybody's head at some point to buy something from Versace or Dior Sauvage at some point, if you've watched him over the years, because he says the same shit all the time. Eventually, early in your journey, he got you to buy something. Mont Blanc Individuel, something. So, but he's not who we're talking about today. He hasn't influenced the purchase on me, and it's been years. It's been years and years, because I can't sit here and say I wasn't like, you know what? I'll check it out. Why not? So let's see. I doubt it. Yeah, he was being sarcastic. Justin is on here. We'll talk about. Justin been influencing me for years. I got a lot of purchases that are Justin's fault. We talk about them all the time. You guys know that, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Hi from Canada. Good to see you. No, believe it or not, she doesn't care what I buy. I find out the hard way if she likes something or doesn't like something. Say the hard way, but her smelling it for the first time on me is usually the case. A-Team indeed. That's what I'm talking about. We got 70 already. 27 likes. That's abysmal. Do me a quick favor. Hit that thumbs up for me, guys. Adeline, good to see you. We're making sense Triton. That's definitely some good stuff. Clone of Oceania. Missoni Wave. Tarathi Blue. I wore that yesterday. Low Dissy Port Homme Sport. I'm probably going to get that in one of the next hauls, which is going to be a few weeks. I wasn't planning on buying any fragrances for the next couple of weeks, but lo and behold, I bought Ralph's Club Elixir today. Anthony coming down with a discontinued gem. Not everybody's favorite, but the best smelling postal worker, according to this gentleman here, is in the house. Great choices. Lydia, good to see you. Wearing 1899 Histoires de Parfum. Never tried it. Bloody Chanel Eau de Parfum, can't go wrong there. What's going on, Ken? Ross the Boss in the house, wearing Ralph's Club Parfum as well as Y Parfum on my wrist and forearms. They're a bit similar, somewhat. Compliments galore at work today. Well, you got 2 really good fragrances on, but we're twinning today because I'm wearing Ralph's Club Parfum myself. I'm doing well, Mike. I can't complain. I hope you're doing well. L'Odyssey Port Homme Shades of Column. I haven't tried that one. And our kind of walk around the Nigerian giant Omos's collection the other day, we saw he had a bottle of that. Nautical Voyage, only 2 to 3 hours on my skin. I mean, it's cheap though. At least it's cheap. Good to see. Tltg Odwell. That would make Joe very happy. 1981 Guess Los Angeles. Guess 1981 Los Angeles is good stuff. If you like Eros, for sure. It's basically Eros on the cheap. Wearing Camaro Omen Tints. My gosh, man, this is freaking amazing. I agree. That one continues to surprise me. They put their best foot forward with that. That's great. That and Rifakat, the baby cat clone, that's the two best I've gotten from Paris Corner in a while. Like, those really speak to me. Those are really, really good. I love Ralph's Club on a Man. My 14-year-old son wants a bottle of it. I would definitely encourage the original for that. It's a little bit more youthful, but I mean, he might fall in love with this one. You never know. I mean, when I had Big Beard Business on for a live stream like a month and a half ago or something like that, he had just got back from the mall. His son, I think, was 10 or 11. One of his younger sons, or it might be his youngest son actually, was getting a Mind Games fragrance. So you never know, you know. So he was getting a really popular niche fragrance that he had tested and decided what he wanted. Young man going, I think they went to Neiman's, and he went buy a niche fragrance from Mind Games. So I mean, let him try the Parfum. Let him try the original. You know, I would think the original, but you never know. Hot one here in Andy says, wearing Elysium Parfum Cologne. Noel, wearing Cedrat Boisé, literally becoming my signature scent. I wear it every day almost, and it's upper 80s today, medium humidity. It's a good temperature for that. Indeed, I agree. Let's see, hello everyone, send a day. Me here, Legacy. Hope you're good. I can't complain. Hit the like button. That's what I'm talking about. We're getting there. We got a little less than half the likes to viewers. We're getting there. Jeremy's the gateway drug. That's fair. That's fair. If you don't really know much about fragrance and you stumble across this community, sure. But I mean, if you have somewhat of a basic knowledge of fragrances coming into it, he may not influence you. His excitement may influence you. You never know. But like I said, more power to Jeremy and his new hit song, How to Fragrance. Star Walker. Okay. Dominique, good to see you. Makes me purchase F Black. I want to say he might be the reason I bought F Black. I think he influenced that purchase, actually. Boss Bottle Marine. I have a decan of that. It's good stuff. Indeed, yeah. What's going on, Lance? Another one wearing Triton. Adeline's wearing that today, too. Paul said, just Bergamot and Tarathi Blue and Panorama from the Woods collection. That's quite the mix. Satur Ta, haven't tried that one. I have Ra. Commer's good stuff. L'Odyssey Poron Vetiver. Ooh, good stuff. Thinking about getting Super Major. What's your thoughts? So I haven't spent any time with it. I just spent time with the original. I still need to go back to the Super Flanker. I'm hoping to do that more this fall. Catch a live. Wearing another one wearing Cedrat Boisé. My 1234. What an interesting name. Being the fragrances, my wallet been hurting for 4 years now. Well, I appreciate you being with me for 4 years, though. Boz, good to see you. Let's see. Sean John 3 a.m. for Kyler. Use any fragrances for your car? No, I do not. I don't. Second bottle of Blue Jeans. I wear it for yard work, knowing I'll be in the shower soon, wanting to enjoy something. I mean, that's good stuff. Scent of the day, Mont Blanc Individuel. The original is the one my son smelled and liked. Look for it on the groups, maybe a partial or something. You're bound to find it. If not, they have them in the discounters. Pretty easy to find at this point. Eddie? Cedrat Boisé. A bunch of people wearing Cedrat Boisé today. Just Fig Man. That's the only one I've spent any time with. I have a bottle of that. Yeah, no, I don't keep any in my car, nor do I spray any in my car. Noir EDP and Prada L'Homme has the same kind of iris as Diorum Intense. You mean Blue Noir Parfum? Because the EDP is not an iris fragrance. It's a vetiver fragrance. The Parfum is an iris fragrance. That's similar to Diorum Intense. Yeah, there's nuanced differences, but the iris style is similar, very waxy. Prada L'Homme's more soapy. Influenced me to buy many fragrances, including some of my favorites. Didn't I influence you to get Carolina Herrera 212 Men Sexy? I just bought that on a whim, but I mean, if it makes you feel good, sure. I just bought that on a whim at Ross Dress for Less one day. Dan, not the man. Love the profile name. We're in Profondo. Josh is in the house. So I'm going to have to skip a few of these guys because I want to go ahead and get into these 5 individuals. H24 EDT, Danye, a couple of good ones right there. Enjoy the weekend. Him son's soccer game. Rain Essence. So Rain Essence, for those of you curious, if you want to spend $105 on it, I just got the email right before we went live that Fragrance Spies got it back in stock. If this was 2 weeks ago, I would have did it, or even a week ago, I would have did it. But since I bought Ralph's Club Elixir today, pass. I'm gonna wait. I'd like to get it. I think I'm really gonna enjoy it. But I went and bought something I wasn't planning on getting today as it was, so I'm not gonna do it twice today. So I'm probably gonna miss this round of it being stocked. I'll catch it on the next round probably, unless it's still there in like 3 weeks, which I doubt. So we'll see. Gladiator. Good stuff. Picked up a Vintage Cologne at Sean John 3 a.m. the other day. We got a bunch of good stuff. So let me skip ahead. Spencer, what's going on? Catch the members on the way down. Should have talked about Jeremy's song last time. Now I keep playing and it's ringing in my ears. Yeah, that's kind of funny. So got to catch him on the way down. Dylan Blue today. Just realized you're moving to Florida. How are you going to deal with fragrances appropriate for cold weather? I'm just wearing when it's cooler, like I always did. I'm from the South. You have to remember. Like, people keep being surprised. What are you going to do with cold fragrances? Like, guys, first 32 years of my life were spent in South Louisiana. There's no coming off the coast breeze like there's going to be at the beach for me. It's even hotter where I'm from than it's going to be where I'm moving to. So I'm used to that. I am definitely used to that. So scrolling to the bottom, I want to get into this. Just found a Brioni store in my workplace. Might be in trouble. I'd love to get a suit from them. Influenced me maybe the most. Justin has also influenced me. So on that note, we get right there. We're going to jump into this. So like I said, we were going to start with Randy because it's Randy's fault that I bought Ralph's Club Elixir today. Had he not said a damn thing, I probably would have just randomly heard it from one of you guys, and I may not have bought it. But Randy and I, especially when it comes to designers, have very similar tastes. I would say 85-90% of the time. It's the vast majority of the time. Now, niche, kind of all over the place between what I like and he likes. Like, he's not a big Amouage fan. I'm a huge Amouage fan. He said he's tried, I believe, 6 different ones from the house and didn't like any of them. I have 6 or 7 bottles that I love. And there's more that I've tried that I just haven't gotten around to getting a bottle of. So I'm a big, that Amouage is a prime example. When it comes to niche, we're kind of all over the place on our taste, he and I. But designer, pretty much aligned most of the time with our thoughts and what we like and don't like. So Randy definitely influences some of the newer release purchases from time to time. That's why I try, if Randy gets something before me, I try not to listen to his opinion. Because if he likes it, I'm probably going to like it too. And lo and behold, I'm going to go spend money, even if I'm not ready to, which that's what happened today. But I was already excited about that release. I did want it. But yeah, we had to start with Randy. So definitely check out Fragrance Dude, as you can see how it's spelled right here, if you haven't checked him out yet. And another one, let's get the other obvious one out the way. You guys know Justin influences me all the time. Prime example would be Brioni, Eau de Parfum Eclat. But there's way more he's influenced. Way more. He has influenced me the most out of everyone that makes fragrance content over the years. He has influenced me the most. Second most would have been Carlos, because Justin and Carlos were my 2 favorite content creators long before I ever started making content. So they were my favorite channels for a long time. So if you're not following Stay Fresh Productions, you like critical thinking and stuff like that. You don't just want, hey, this smells good. Hey, this performs well. You want a little bit deeper thought into your fragrance choices and maybe a more broad spectrum thought process for how to go about a collection and a wardrobe. You might want to check Justin out. Prime example, I wore 7 of the most complimented men's fragrances for 7 days. So it's another one of his Basic Bro series videos. So I watched that earlier because I always give him a hard time. I'm like, why you criticize my taste like that, Justin? Because what he deems Basic Bro, I quite enjoy. Like in this video's Percival, Sedley, Bleu de Chanel Parfum. It just, he's considering those basic, but which he did give Bleu de Chanel its due. Go check out the video if you haven't yet. But let's get caught back up on some of these comments, and then we'll dive into the final 3 after, because we got a little bit. I mean, we're only 15 minutes in. We're going to do about an hour like we always do. Let's see. Where was I? Because when I get to the bottom, it'll just keep going instead of keeping my place. Let's see. Black Gold. I've heard so many good things about that one. You've been killing it lately. Been looking for a scent for my wedding. So I actually went and searched if you had a wedding fragrance list, and I was surprised your fall wedding tag video you made. Yeah, that's pretty much everything I would wear to a fall wedding for the most part. Unless it's outdoors, I would wear to year regardless of the time of year. Now, an outdoor summer wedding, obviously that would change a bit. I do have ideas for that. Most notably, an easy choice would be something like Silver Mountain Water. If we're talking summer weddings, outdoors, indoors, you can still the same stuff I would wear in the fall at Batio Immortelle. Like that's my go-to, Batio Immortelle. That's what I mainly like to reach for. It's kind of my wedding fragrance, is what I've dubbed it. Bois Imperial, Palo Santo from Carner, Barcelona. Ramon Monagal, Flower Power, Ibiza. All right, I've never tried that. I don't think I've even heard of that one. Wearing two, Nabil Ocean and Foulade. Great taste there. What do you do when he asks for Ganymede for Christmas? that's a real possibility. Just found Bruno. Oh, I read that already. Congrats on 4 years. Esteban, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for being here. Very happy to have stumbled upon this particular community. Ross, you're the best. William, I appreciate the kind words. Thank you, man. He's a good kid. That's always a good thing. Kevin, good to see you. Noel said, I was looking to sample some niche frags and ordered some Zaharoff, Nichane, and Killian. I will now be adding 3 from your vid. Excited to smell them. There's some really, really good niche fragrances out there. I would suggest looking into maybe a discovery set of Paradis de Sins. That brand, I only have smelled Eden because I have a bottle of it. That brand really impressed me with that first outing because it's an easy to wear fragrance, and it's not challenging in any way, but it also doesn't smell like everything else that I have in my collection. So that was very impressive about that. That alone makes me want to dive into the house more, just like Vanilla Oud did with Vertus. I would strongly suggest checking out more from Vertus. I have 2 fragrances from them now. Eau de Cyan, which is not a mass appealing seaweed aquatic. It's not mass appealing at all. It's very artistic, very photorealistic for what they're trying to do there. But that's what I like about it. I have a ton of mass appealing bitter seaweed, saltwater marine aquatics. I got a ton of those because I'm a big fan of that style in the summer. But that one, that's the king of the mountain for that style, in my opinion. So Vertus is another house I would strongly suggest checking out some stuff. Any new Happy Land fragrances? So EJ has a new one on the horizon already. He just released 2 with Haymaker and Roundhouse, and he sent that to me already. And it's inspired by a particular album, kind of like Inlandish, how Inlandish was inspired by a specific album. But I would say if you want something on the fresher side that's still powerful, Haymaker. Haymaker is definitely the freshie from the house, in the realm of kind of like a little bit of Tygar meets Lemon Sight from Louis Vuitton. A lot of ginger, a lot of juicy citrus, lemon lime citrus. A lot of ginger. Oh, it's so good. I would strongly encourage checking that out if you want something fresh and powerful. I'm still surprised he made something that fresh. Shameless as well, very versatile. Blue fragrance. It's an orange label, but it's the blue fragrance from the house. Diabolique if you want something spicy. If you're looking for something in the realm of like a Beach Hut Man, that green herbal type of feel, a lot of galbanum and mint leaf, I would try Wonderland. Like there's a lot of, EJ puts a lot of good stuff out. Influenced me maybe the most. Justin has also influenced me. Is that a retype or did I just go too far back? Because I know I read that comment from Boz. Might have went too far back. Dakota, what's going on? Wearing St. Kitts. That's good stuff. I'll be pulling that one back into the rotation. Like I said, I'm saving all the really fresh stuff for a couple of weeks from now because it's going to be hot, be beachy, beach vibe. So I'm saving all my super fresh stuff for that. I'm kind of wearing stuff that I would wear in the spring and fall. It's kind of what I've been wearing here now. It's not super hot. Hot. It's not super, super hot. So D'Italy, Oceanic Editions, probably the worst flanker. I agree. It's my least favorite. I don't like it. What's going on, Montrese? We got 100 plus? Yeah, we got 110. That's cool. It's always nice. Go ahead and hit that like button for me, though, guys. We only got 64 likes. We can do better than that for sure. Just purchase Amoir Search via Fragrance Buy. No, I have samples of the whole collection. I have a bottle of Lineage, which is phenomenal. Phenomenal aquatic. It's very marine, but still resinous and smoky. It has kind of their stamp, their thumbprint signature DNA in there with kind of this bitter marine feel to it. And it's in one of the feminine bottles. It is not a feminine fragrance. It is phenomenal. I haven't tried the others yet, though, because I did a collaboration review with Twisted Lily. They had sent the bottle to me. They let me pick out which one I wanted, and they sent samples of the rest in the collection. And I haven't sprayed the samples yet. I've always got so much coming in. I haven't gotten around to it. But I can tell you firsthand, Lineage is phenomenal. Another one, Justin Influenced. I saw Justin talk about it, and then when it came time, they're like, hey, would you like to pick one? I was like, ooh, yes. Lineage, I've heard great things from someone I trust. So sure enough, love it. It's a phenomenal release from Amouage, which goes back to Randy doesn't like Amouage. He probably wouldn't like that. I don't know if he tried it, but it's an awesome fragrance. Awesome fragrance, which I don't think I was counting that one when I said 6 or 7. So I might have 7 or 8 fragrances from them. I haven't. I heard it's very similar to Tltg. I'm going to be getting Spirit of Kings Arrakis, I believe is how you say that. It's either Arrakis or Arrakis. Not exactly sure the pronunciation, but I've heard as long as you get that, you're good. Or Suspiro Vibrato, one of those two. Like, because I don't want to spend the money on Tltg, but I love Tltg. I have a sample that Joe sent me. So Sebastian's an influence on a lot of people. He's very technical, very tech savvy when it comes to perfumery. Allure Edition Blanche. Yeah, definitely keep hitting me with who influences some of you guys' purchases, because it's, I mean, I appreciate the trust that I've influenced some purchases for most of you guys, but there's people that influence me too, you know, because I trust their opinion. I value their opinion is what it comes down to. I don't regret purchasing, but will not be rebuying this so far. Remember to tip your bartender. Yeah. Chris doesn't really influence any purchases, though I love Chris. He doesn't really influence any purchases from me. I say that, but there is one in particular that he influenced, and that was Costa Azura from Tom Ford. He did influence me on that one. I took his opinion of the reviews that were available. When I saw Chris had a review on it, I said, this ought to be pretty good. Let me go see what Chris thinks. I watched his on the Eau de Parfum and the Parfum for the signature line, and that's kind of what sold me on it, Chris's take. And I tried them. I did try them. I sampled them, especially with the Parfum. I had a decant. But the EDP, I went try at Sephora. But it sparked me to go out and get them on skin and smell them. And that's how I ended up falling in love with the DNA, which I have all but the private blend version. I have the Aqua Flanker. I have the Parfum. I have the signature version EDP. So the only one I don't have is the private blend EDP, which from what I understand, it is that close to the signature one. So why spend the money? Maybe one day. Who knows? RIP BFL. I agree. Rest in peace, Carl. So I'm very behind, guys. I'm going to have to skip a little bit. What's your thoughts on Aqua Wood? Aqua Wood's probably the second most versatile fragrance from the house that I've tried behind Cedrat Boisé. It's fruity fresh without being fruity sweet because of the pear and stuff like that. A little smoky, a little bit of orange citrus without being too orangey. You know, some that have that real dense orange smell. It's not real orangey. It kind of balances with the pear. Some woods and amber. A little, not much musk, but more woods and amber. Very versatile DNA. You'll see on Fragrantica, for example, they compare it to Bulgari Aqua Amara. Not all that much. Much more versatile and easy to wear. Doesn't have that orange funk that Aqua Amara has. That makes it very distinctive, which isn't a bad thing. It works. But that's omitted. That's not in there. But there is some similarity to it. But I gotta skip ahead, guys. What's going on, Joe? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, I gotta skip around. Yeah, for sure. He was look, he was no angel. You know, I have to be honest when I talk about him, because if I just say glaringly positive things, people are like, but he did this, he said that, behind the scenes, he was this, he was inappropriate, he got drunk on screen. I understand all that. He had his demons, but he had a really good heart and soul. That man was a ball of energy. I've spent time with Carlos. He was one of the main people I hung out with in 2019 Scent Explorer, the first one. And then we swapped numbers, and I used to talk to Carlos all the time. Not literally all the time, but a lot more than you probably think. And he would hit you with these wild, inappropriate, random texts, smart ass, but inappropriate sometimes, just out of the blue. That's who Carlos was. So may God rest his soul. Always loved his review style. Joe, what's going on? Off to Woodstock for the weekend. Have a great stream, man. Yeah, sorry I wasn't able to join yesterday. I saw your message. You were already live, turns out, whenever I saw the message. And me and the wife were out and about, so I wasn't able to join. But I hope you had a great stream. But I hope you and Allie have an even better time at Woodstock, Joe. I think it's fine. If you like barbershop fragrances, it's fine. It's a safe blind buy in that case, as long as you know you like the style. So when I first started, I bought way too quick. Now I only buy if I love after a few wearings. That's fair. That's smart buying, you know. Ross, about how many fragrances do you? Around 1,500. Now that I've been packing, I've realized how much over 1,000 it is. I still haven't done an exact count, but I had packed like 400 or 500 fragrances and still had about 1,000 that weren't packed when we first started packing them. That's when I realized I have it. 1,500s, I think, is a safe number for what I have. It's ridiculous. And I've been giving away a lot of stuff to try to cut back some of the excess of stuff that just sits, you know. Ordered Brioni EDP this morning. Looking forward to it. So I think it's like a reimagining. It's much more fruity. It doesn't have the leather. It doesn't have a heavy gasoline smell, but it's a similar violet. Like it has a little bit of that petroleum feel, but it's very fruity apple. It's a little rich, almost resinous and smoky. Like the first time I smelled it, I thought there would have been incense in here because it was kind of smoky on my skin. Turns out no, but it has a dark richness to it while still being very fruity. This is a very smooth, refined fragrance. This is one of those. I put this in a similar category as far as blues of Bleu de Chanel Parfum, Polo Blue Parfum, where I think this is a blue fragrance that can dress up very, very, very well. You could wear this one with a suit and tie, which I mean, it's a suit company, you know, men's wardrobe, luxury wardrobe type of brand. I haven't tried anything from Mind Games yet. OOLD, there you go. What's going on, Devin? I'm my own influencer, LOL. Sebastian, you, Carlos, Justin, EQ, a few others that get me influenced, but I mostly just look in random fragrance houses and get samples, which is very true. I can say that is indeed a fact about Devin. Good to see you. Woodstock, Juju's in the house. Good to see you, Juju. Biggest influence on my choice was you. Then I would mention Gerard George. Shout outs to Gerard. Great, great guy. Love he's kind of taken the rack store ball and ran with it over the last year and a half with his channel. I love that. He finds some good shit at his rack stores too, man. If you're not checking out Gerard George on YouTube, you should be. Definitely have to mention Sebastian. Yeah, like I said, if you want technical, Sebastian's probably the best to watch. He talks about scents that almost no one talks about. Well, he's got an entire floor of his home that's like a perfume library. Thousands of fragrances. One of the biggest collections probably on Earth. Not just on YouTube, on Earth. LV, St. Bart's, Sin of the Day. Dang, Lenny, sounds really good. It is. Sin of the Day, Ambassador from Jasada. Joey's in the house. Special shout-outs to TLTG. Special shout-outs to Joey. So we'll get to you in just a moment, actually. Actually, we'll do you next since you're here. So let's go ahead and jump into that, actually. So Joey Cannoli would be number 3 on the influential list for me of people that actually influence me. So you notice it's my friends that influence me. It's people I get to know, and I know I can value their opinion. You'll notice that's the 5. For those of you just getting in here, the recap is Randy, because he, had he not texted me that Ralph's Club Elixir was available on the Ralph Lauren site and the Macy's site, I wouldn't have purchased that today. So I blame today's purchase on him, which inspired today's Scent of the Day of Ralph's Club Parfum. And then, of course, Justin is the obvious. I mean, nobody's influenced me to buy fragrances more than Justin Copeland has. And then now we're on Joey Cannoli. And most recently would be CK All, because I continue to try my best to give him as much credit as I can, because a lot of people have been giving me credit for why they've bought it. Well, I was influenced in order to be able to influence you, basically, because literally 3 days before I was with him in Chicago for the launch party for XXX, he had just told me on one of his streams how good it was. Creamy citrus, creamy white florals, bright, zesty, all that good stuff. We get to Chicago. We go hit the rack stores. There it is at Ross. I pick it up. I wear it. That evening. I wear it to the gym the next day. I just fell in love with it. So most notably. And then when it comes to like late 90s, early 2000s fragrances, me and Joey have a very similar taste. So make sure you're subscribed to Joey Cannoli Raw. He's starting to do much more fragrance content, very unique style, not your run-of-the-mill fragrance reviews. He's not breaking it down technical. He's breaking it down Joey Cannoli style. Very Sicilian of him. with his personality and his sense of humor. So definitely check out Joey Cannoli Raw, guys. And then with that, we might as well jump into an unaverage Joe. So Joe puts me on a lot of stuff. Joe sends me a lot of samples and stuff like that. Joe hooks me up from time to time. He's the reason I have Amouage Overture Man for a really great price. He's the reason I have a tester bottle of Gucci Guilty Absolute. He hooked me up with that. He's the reason I know Tltg is so freaking amazing, and how I got to try MFK's new release Aqua Media Cologne Forte. And he sent me a sample of that. Ocean Leather from Memo. Like, Joe's put me on a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Like I go back to, you guys notice it's all friends of mine that we're talking about here, because like I said, if I know you well enough, I know I can trust you. I can trust your opinion. I can learn your taste, and you know, that's basically how it comes down to. So if you're not subscribed to an Unaverage Joe, who is no stranger to this channel, I would strongly encourage you to check out Joe. And then last but not least, my man EQ. I would say several of my recent Mancera purchases are totally his fault. Tltg, French Riviera, Fabulous Yuzu, for example. I'm going to be getting Pink Prestigium because of him, as well as Midnight Gold. He's really swayed me into those. So the next round of purchasing, I'm going to be getting those two Manceras. He has a very expensive taste, very no-nonsense bullshit about the way he talks about fragrances. Obviously, he does the Verse Sense battles on his live stream. His live streams are no bullshit, just like mine. I love that about him. He's been on the channel many times. I've been on his many times. That's an opinion you can take to the bank, in my opinion. If you're not following quality fragrances, again, just like with Joe, just like with Joey, Justin, and Randy, you should be following all of the. If you value my opinion, you'll value theirs, is basically the way you can look at it. If you value the opinion of this channel, you'll value those 5 opinions, because they have the ability to influence my thoughts and my purchases, is what it comes down to. Now, there's more beyond the 5 of them, but they're the 5 main ones. That's why I wanted to specifically talk about them. So let's get back to the comments, shall we? St. Kitts over St. Bart's. Ooh, that's a bold statement. I can understand the argument, but it's hard for me to dethrone St. Bart's. That's my favorite Tommy Bahama. Sean, what's going on? Tltg, first time wearing it. I'm liking it. Got it on your recommendation. So yeah, you've influenced me a time or two. And again, when I got interested in it, I watched an old review from EQ, and I was like, ooh, sold. And I bought it. I bought it from FragranceNet. Sold. Right then there. And it's one of my, it's top 5 from the house for me. It's phenomenal. Mafia Kong. Kits is a great scent. I agree. Dan said, evening, Ross. Been wondering what your live times. No, it's going to be the same time. My live times will be the same. It's just like, instead of, like right now, I went live earlier because I got my stuff done earlier. But most of the time, it's 3 to 4 o'clock Central. When I go live, that's majority of the time. And that's going to be the case there. It's just when it's 3 o'clock Central, it's 2 o'clock Mountain Time for me. When it's 4 o'clock Central, it's 3 o'clock Mountain Time for me. Whereas I'll be Central Time in the Panhandle. Wave Musk. Yeah, that's a good one. And look, it's not on their site. I'm not saying it is discontinued, but if it's on your radar, guys, sooner than later is all I'll say, because it is not on the French or U.S. Mancera websites anymore. EQ discovered that. He stumbled across it. He called me. Hey, man, I know you're a fan of this fragrance. Wanted to let you know. And we talked about it on one of his live streams. So here's an interesting one. So Buck has influenced me a lot over the years. He was up there with Justin and Carlos for me. I would say if I had a top 3 that I watched the most, it was Buck, Justin, and Carlos. Buck is right there. So it's not fair of me to omit Buck, because Buck's always influenced me, because I've always just thought he was a cool motherfucker. It's easier to watch people that you would want to hang out with. Makes sense. So, and I've gotten to know him a little bit over the years. So he is a cool motherfucker. He is an opinion you can value, and so on. We have a lot of mutual friends, EQ, Justin, and so on. We got a lot of mutual friends and a lot of common ground with one another. It's great that we've been able to connect over the years. He's recently been on a live stream here on the channel. And yeah, Buck definitely has influenced a lot of purchases over the years. If I would have did 10, he would have been here. But the 5 that I feature, the 5 that I'm the closest to, that have influenced the most purchases, especially in the last few years. Whereas I guess long term, the top 3 would be Justin, Big Beer Business, and Carlos for sure. Because I could have put Carlos up here because he's influenced a ton of purchases. You know, like I said, there's more beyond the 5 that we talked about here today, but there's definitely mention deserving to happen for Buck. UNEQ and also Justin, great content always. I appreciate that. Ooh, Blue Notes. Excellent choice. I'm a big fan of that one. Polo Blue Gold Blend. That's Joe's favorite, which was my favorite until the Parfum came out, which is Joey's favorite as well as mine. So, but now it's Eau de Sweat after my daily jog. I'm glad you're getting out and exercising, though, Summer Shoulder. You, Justin EQ, Bowtie Fragrance Guy, Cuba No, has definitely been very influential for me over the years. Yeah, shout outs to Darian, shout outs to Angel for sure. I have no wrench. Well, I didn't know you wanted a wrench, Juju. I mean, I have to know these things. Are you jealous because your husband has a wrench and you don't? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Is that what that means? I got to scroll up on YouTube and find you. You can have a wrench, Juju. I trust you. There she is. Add as moderator. Standard moderator. Save. You now have a wrench, Queen Cannoli. See? I said, damn. Straight up asking for it. Asking you shall receive. I trust your household. How about that? We'll go with that. I trust your household to handle some of the riffraff. Shout outs to Raff on this channel. Wrong button. Almost finished my collection of Nabil's Master Perfumer line. Really happy about that. Okay. Max Forte has been one of my influences. I got to give Max a little credit. He's influenced some purchases in the past. He's who sparked me to look into English Laundry a long time ago. He was kind of the one-stop shop for the English Laundry reviews many years ago, before I was making content, you know. Cannoli. Amouage has changed their packaging. Yes, they have. They're square boxes now. A lot of the older releases have. Probably. I'm sure they've been reformulated, but I can tell you firsthand, the stuff that I have that is notoriously been reformulated, like Reflection Man and Epic Man and Journey Man, they're still strong. They're not just overwhelming, but they're still really long lasting and still very strong. I wouldn't let that scare you away. Still sample first because they're not cheap, but it didn't scare me away, and I would encourage you to not let it scare you away because they're still really strong. They're just not just overwhelmingly unnecessarily strong like they used to be. Late, but still smelling great. I went with Spice Bomb Eau Fraiche. Spice Bomb Fresh, there you go. Joy Amin has been a huge influence over the years, for sure. Shout outs to my good friend Joy Amin. We haven't talked in like 3 or 4 weeks. We message back and forth just periodically just to catch up. So, Joy, if you see this, hope you're doing well, my friend. I'm going to have to message him after this. But, yeah, I love watching Joy. No frills, no crazy edits or anything like that. Just him holding his lapel mic, sitting on his bed next to his fragrances, talking fragrances. Don't ever change, Joy. I love it. Let's see. Summer Shoulder. Yeah. R.I.P. Carlos. Carlos had a way with the ladies. Yeah, there. Sure. Climatic with the $20 super chat. In Portland with the wife for a work trip. Scent of the Day, Sailing Day by Mason Margiela in their replica line. I've been wanting to try that one. You were in Justin's neck of the woods. He is out there in Portland. According to him, it's been pretty damn hot lately. But I appreciate the super chat. Thank you very much, my man. Bowtie influenced me. 10-4. That's all influences of mine, too. AC here. It's from AC Smells Good is a fantastic reviewer. I've watched AC in the past. I don't watch as much content as I used to, obviously, because I make content all the time, every day. We're doing content right now, doing a live stream. So I don't consume near as much as I used to because I make so much of it that you get tired of content, you know. But yes, I've watched AC many times over the years. Good orator. Check him out. Only issue is he doesn't put out much. Yeah, he doesn't put out much content. Wit Wiz to Walt Diz. All right. You and Michelle are my faves and my inspirations. Well, I appreciate that. Michelle is extremely influential, especially to the gentleman viewers. Hey, Tltg, what part of in the Panhandle? Moving into the Panhandle. Creed Silver Mountain Water, Scent of the Night for my bouncing job. I haven't picked out yet. You, Justin, ATH, Ash from Jensen's, Dallas Chaos Fragrances, and many others have influenced me. 10-4. Dallas Ash. Tommy at times. Shout outs to Tommy. Studio Sense. And lately a lot of Neeb. Shout outs to Neeb. Dude is good for new releases. Yeah, Randy gets every new release. Hence the reason I bought Ralph's Club Elixir today. those of you just joining, the reason that we had this discussion is had Randy not text me that Ralph's Club Elixir was now available on Ralph Lauren's site in Macy's, I probably wouldn't have bought the damn thing today because I was trying to not buy nothing. I'm spending an inordinate amount of money to move in 2 weeks. So best of luck with the move. Thank you, Jake. I appreciate that. The first channel I subscribed to, enjoyed his personality and great content. Short and sweet. And then the catchiest intro and outro music of all time. It'll never be better than the Brooklyn Fragrance Lover music. I'm sorry. It just won't. I'd play it, but he's not around to moderate his channel and remove the copyright strike. Otherwise, I would play it from his channel right now. Because I'll get a copyright strike on this stream and won't get the monetized revenue for it. And he's not around to log in. I can't text him and say, hey, remove the copyright strike. So may he rest in peace. But anybody that hasn't heard it, or if you haven't heard it in a while, go to Brooklyn Fragrance Lovers YouTube page. Just pick a video. The best intro and outro music ever. But that was when I knew nothing about it. That's fair. Gerard's wife is a perfumer too. Ogivray, excellent. Excellent, excellent. Right back at you, Joey. Bottles and beer. Here we go. Justin and EQ mainly. And you recently influenced me to get Issey Miyake. I'm assuming Issey Miyake Porum Vetiver. Lodisi Porum Vetiver. Amazing. William with the $20 super chat. Way overdue. Thanks for all you do. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you very much. And thank you for taking part and giving me, providing the trust of my opinion. You know, love that era. That I know you do. As influencers on my fragrance purchases, it's been you, Ashton, and Dallas. I gotta be me. Dead ass. Yeah, dead ass. Right? All super chats are greatly appreciated. Indeed, they are. They go towards this ridiculous amount of purchasing. Speaking of stuff I've been purchasing, sprayed this on my arm again last night. I'm loving this. It's starting to become my favorite. Over Privé, even, in Elixir. I really like 1 Million Parfum. The more I spray it, the more I fall in love with it. It's getting there. There's an argument for being my favorite right now. Could be just an in-the-moment thing, and that will fade, and I'll go back to, Privé's still better. Elixir's still better. I ranked it number 3 right away, but it might be number 1 before it's all said and done. I really, really like it. Shout outs to Erica. Ain't nothing wrong with Erica, guys. It's pretty shitty, the kind of shit she gets. Take it from the guy that gets a lot of shit for no reason. It sucks to get shit on for no reason. So shout outs to Erica. Yeah, joke. Shout out to Erica. Exactly. Blue Noir Parfum your way. I can't remember. No, so that was Dave, Callie's Groom Room. He was supposed to send me a decant out of his bottle and just bought me a 50 ml. That's how I got that. I was expecting a decant, and then this box this big comes in. I'm like, yeah, it's not a decant. Opened it as a brand new 50 ml. EQ doesn't miss. Talk to him nice. Come on now. That's Hemi Butler. Like he said. Hardest working man in this community, Ben said. I appreciate that, my man. Big influence was Frag Boy Stewie, I think he meant. I haven't watched him in a long time. I don't think he makes content anymore. Brooklyn Fragrance Lover, Curly Sense, Gent Sense, Cubano. Shout out to Angel. He's got between his 2 channels, he just hit 70K on his jewelry channel. Shout out to Angel. That's my guy. Besides you and Justin Tinford, and I hope I influence you to pick up Low Paula Ibiza because it's just a great scent. And even though I could be wrong, I'm still convinced you'll like it. Eric, what's going on, big dog? Wearing Sedley. Appreciate your advice last night as usual. Appreciate how you always give frag advice without telling others to buy certain things. Well, I just go off of my opinion. And you'll notice I say a lot, if you like this, or if this is your style, or if this sounds good to you. Because I don't encourage anyone to just buy just to buy. I do that. But I also make content talking about my opinion, and people seem to want to watch it and hear it. As just a consumer of content and fragrances, if you're not making content, I would encourage you to be much, much more strategic with your purchases than I am. I'm very frivolous with the way I purchase fragrances. I do not encourage anyone else to be that way. There's a method to my madness. Even though it's madness, there's still a method to it. I would not encourage any of you. For those of you that don't know, we have conversations all the time. He's always hitting me with this or that in my DMs on Instagram. This or that, and why. You know, so shout outs to Eric. Funny guy, knows his stuff. Yeah, Angel's good people. Man. I like Angel. Always have. I appreciate that, Montrese. Yeah, shout outs to Darian. Darren's a good dude. Foulade is like Figue from Molinard, except fresher. Really? Less sweet, because Figue is phenomenal. So Ross and Joe have done a lot to support me this past year. Thanks again, boys. Of course, man. Anything I can do to help, I'm here for it. So, and that's funny that you bring it up. I was about to bring Chad up because I almost added him, because Chad has been a huge influence on me over the years. Jeffrey Style OG. Shout outs to the Style OG. Huh? Chad from A Gentleman's Journey influenced before TLTG started doing his thing. I gave him a spray and thanked you later. Appreciate that. But yes, Chad, the original Cheapy King. I still say the Cheapy King. He can throw the crown my way all he wants, and I appreciate that. I think it's more of a shared thing, because I know Chad's not for everybody. Hell, I'm not for everybody. I get it. Polarizing personalities. I get it. Because me and Chad are on different sides of the fence when it comes to beliefs on a lot of things. But I still really like Chad and appreciate Chad and understand Chad. I value his opinion on fragrances. I have for a long time. If there's one person I've watched the longest, it's been Chad. Because I've been consuming content since almost the beginning. Like I used to watch him and Steven a lot. And then I slowly made my way over to Justin and Carlos more. Carlos before Justin, obviously. And then it was like Carlos, Justin, and Big Beer Business. That was my big three for years and years and years, and kind of still is, because I still watch Carlos's videos from time to time just for the nostalgic reasons, and I miss him, you know. But yeah, Chad deserves his flowers for sure, especially from me on this channel. He has been a huge influence on this channel, because this channel revolves around, like, the cornerstone is Cheapies. That's the cornerstone of that man's channel too, and he's been around for a decade. Next month makes 10 years on YouTube. Joey's been around for 12 years. He's 30, but he's still an old fuck. Right? 12 years makes you an old fuck, I guess. Even though you're 8 years younger than me, you're still an old fuck in this space. But I appreciate you. And I appreciate Chad. I appreciate all of you being here. It's a great stream. Great conversation. I'm enjoying having this conversation. Himalaya. I haven't smelled that in a while. I used to have a decant. Shout out to Miguel, one of my moderators in my Facebook group. Back when I lived near him in Houston, he gave me a decant of it. What other fragrances are in the same realm as Chanel L'Homme Sport that you can think of? Not clones, but just fragrances that are within the same realm that have definitely Missoni Wave. So it's kind of like a cross between that and Versace Pour Homme, and it's pretty affordable. I love it. One of the best affordable fragrances I've gotten in years. Big fan. Big advocate for it. I recommend it often on this channel. Maybe. I'm not just giving wrenches to every damn body. Damn it, Dan. Because now it's going to be, but I'm your friend too. What the hell? That's what this is. I'm your friend too. Can I have a wrench? We'll talk about it later, Dan. No, all right. How about this? Last one. Nobody else asked for a wrench, please. It's not the wrench gang over here. But Dan, I don't want you to think I don't love you. Let me find your name, because I do love you, Dan. Y'all are killing me with these wrenches. Just scroll up and find Dan. I'm about to go back to just Justin, Kyler, and Jared. Jesus Christ, I'm that far behind that I got to scroll this far up on YouTube to find Dan. Wow. So yeah, I'm pretty damn far behind. Oh wow, I went too far because I'm on your gateway drug, Jeremy comment. So Dan, you have a wrench now. All right, let me get back caught up. 69 Juju if you want a wrench. No, that's Joey's thing. That was Joey passing out wrenches for $69. I'm not doing that. Is now the fifth house for Hogwarts. There you go. Okay, let's see. Sebastian, TLTG, Justin, who influenced me the most. Enzo Vandenberg. I appreciate you, my man. Triple B and Bowtie got me started. Now I enjoy watching all you guys. Dedrick, shout outs to Dedrick. Justin, EQ, Sebastian, and Neeb. For sure. Yeah, a bunch of great guys, a bunch of great content. And my go-to this year, if I'm blind by smelling good, after I talk to you first. And I appreciate that. Max Forte's had some really good IG live streams with some exciting newer houses like Masi. Shout outs to Shimaka. She is awesome. Blackstone, Uniki, and Atelier des Sources. Desors, I believe. Desors? Is how you say that? DES. 150 in the chat. We do have 150 in the chat. I appreciate you guys. 105 likes. Anybody that hasn't hit that up, please hit the thumbs up for me. I like watching this channel as well. No, we talked about Jeremy in the beginning. We did. We did. He just doesn't, very little influencing on people like me. and a lot of YouTube. And I'm not, like I said, F Black, I can definitely give him credit on that. I bought F Black because of him many years ago. And I'm sure there's been maybe a few others where I was like, I'll give it a try. Why not? But not so much, not really all that much. He's not the most technical out there. Not that you got to be technical to give a good opinion, but a little bit goes a long way. Sexy's not an accord. Okay? Sexy is not an accord. That's like his favorite way to describe a fragrance. Catch my whiffs in the house. So let's see. City Rhythm St. John. Ooh, that's good stuff. Great fragrance. Thanks, Ross. Yeah, it's good stuff. Niles did such a good job. He perfumed that one himself, too. Such a good job. Influenced me in the beginning. Get started. Cuba. George. Shout outs to George. Since after a while, but honestly, start your own discoveries when building wardrobe. That's fair. Citizen Jack by Michael Malone. This topic. Oh, no, I don't watch Mark. I haven't watched Mark in probably 10 years. Why, he made something about influencers? That's kind of funny. No, the reason for this is because literally I was setting up my live stream and Randy had texted me, Fragrance Dude, about Ralph's Club Elixir being out on Ralph Lauren's website and Macy's. And I wasn't planning on buying anything because I'm spending a lot of money to move in 2 weeks. I ended up buying the damn thing. And I know if he wouldn't have told me, I wouldn't have bought the damn thing today. I wouldn't have bought a fragrance today. So it got me thinking. I was like, let me center it around this, But yeah, you watch him still. Teach their own. Your opening 3 years ago was fire. I appreciate that. Got to go pay storage, so we'll leave this one hopefully still on when I get back. We'll be shutting it down in about 8 minutes. I'm probably stopping right at the 1 hour mark. Go pay storage, so we'll leave this one hopefully when we get back. Watching from work, we'll have to catch the replay. What's going on, Jared? Remember at that light, bought Imperial for Adolfo. I think the community should do some sort of tribute for the reviewers we've lost over the last 5 or so years. That's fair. Mr. Siage and Carlos, and I know there's a few more besides that aren't coming to mind right away. So that's fair. I mean, it's hard to say Steven hasn't influenced everybody at some point, right? Steven's been around so long, and it's basically the fragrance professor in many ways because he is a teacher by trade, and he approaches his fragrance reviews as such. So Steven deserves his flowers too, Also, shout outs to Brian, my 2 cents. Erica does try. Credit for that. Been influenced by everybody, even people in the chats. Talking up a fragrance got me interested. Fragboy Stewie's page is empty. I looked yesterday. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. Anyways, ever been on a cruise? No, I have not. I was on the Royal Caribbean a few weeks ago and boat. Pretty good fragrance store with a lot of designer stuff to sample, including Intenso. All right, Dior Homme Parfum equals better. Yeah, it's one of the best ever in my opinion. So Fragrance Dude. His channel is Fragrance Dudes right here. So he was one of the 5 that we talked about. So these were the 5 that were featured. Randy, all friends of mine. Randy, Justin, Joey Canoli, an unaverage Joe, and Equality Fragrances. And then we also talked about a bunch of other people. We talked about Angel. We talked about Which Cubano, Big Beard Business, Bowtie Fragrance Guy. Steven just came up. We talked about Jeremy. Carlos from Brooklyn Fragrance Lover. May he rest in peace. And so on. Lorem Sport Cologne smells fantastic. Just got 10 ounces. 10.4. Doesn't anyone ever speak of Sebastian? So, I would say 10 out of every 20 mentions in the beginning of the stream were Sebastian. We talked about Sebastian 4 or 5 times during this live stream. You're just jumping on. But I agree. When it comes to technical, he's probably the best. With technical reviews, he's probably number 1, I would say, which we discussed earlier. So, yeah. You just missed that part, basically, is all it was. But yeah, we definitely gave him his flowers for sure. He's very influential because, like I said, when it comes to tech savvy about perfumery and breakdowns and everything, it's hard to argue anybody's better than Sebastian. No, there's no moving company handling my move. Now I have labor. I'm paying for labor to load the truck and to unload the truck, but I'm driving the truck. It's all going to be on me. And I'm moving all of my fragrances. I'm paying for them to move everything but my fragrances, basically. So if something happens to my fragrances, it's on me. It's my fault. I can live with that. I can't live with someone else doing it. If it's on me, it's on me. You know. It's Cascade scent. Shout out to Manny. Never was my thing. More power to her. Never was my thing. So I've only smelled it once with Justin doing a blind smelling rate. I haven't gotten around to just getting a decant so I could spend time with it, but that's why you never really hear me say anything about it. Oh, and FYI, guys, this is the first time I got to try this one. Strawberry Splash Bubblicious. It's okay. Don't think I'll be buying this one again. You guys know I like my ghost drinks. Normally, the best two, in my opinion, are both Warhead ones, sour watermelon and sour green apple, which I did buy. I went to a vitamin shop. That's how I even got this one. And I grabbed that. And since I was there, the only place I ever see is sour apple Warheads is at vitamin shop. So I got that in the fridge. Should have went with that. But I wanted to try this one first. So I'm going to drink that one tomorrow. Sour green apple. I'm definitely an old fuck. Yeah, you are. So I got to skip ahead a bit. Saints fan, that's what I'm talking about. I don't know. I've heard Chanel's dropping something later in the year. I was told it's not in the Allure line or the Bleu de Chanel line. But I reiterate once again, Bleu de Chanel elixir needs to happen. Chanel, we need it. What has begun? There you go. Meat wrench. So yeah, I'm way behind is what it comes down to. Yeah, I'm way behind. If you ask him, he sure is. Yeah. Just check his logo. Let's see. Okay, Ronnie. Salute Ross. Again, no shade to Mark. I'm cracking jokes because I'm cracking jokes. I don't know Mark. I used to watch him. I don't know Mark. We've never even had a real conversation. So shout outs to Mark. I got to skip so much. No shots, Luis. Just an observation. I missed something there. Big business for sure. Appreciate that. Tiff Benson. Shout outs to Tiff Benson. I haven't watched her in a while. Used to love when her and Carlos would do collabs. Simply put, sense. Shout outs to Mitsu. And he smells like Rome. There you go. Hey, we actually made it to the bottom. Ghost Citrus is good. Cherry Limeade I had yesterday. But my favorites are the two watermelon ones. Like I said, this one's okay at best. But again, for those just joining, the reason for this topic in the first place, I'm wearing this because I bought Ralph's Club Elixir today because Randy, fragrance dude, texted me to let me know Ralph Lauren's website. And yeah, I don't feel like answering any of that nonsense, Bane. We're having a fun conversation. I don't need you raining on my parade. I saw your comment, your question, excuse me. We'll catch that as the last question. How about that? Because you asked me shit that has nothing to do with any of my interests. You always do. So what I was going to say was, had Randy not texted me, I probably wouldn't have bought the damn thing right now, even though others would have told me it's available at some point. So I blame this stream on Randy. I blame today's purchase that was totally unnecessary and could have waited on Randy. But in celebration of it, I decided to wear the last release with the Parfum, which is beautiful. I have 4 sprays around the neck. I left my arms bare because who knows what the day will hold when it comes to fragrances and content and sniffing and all that. So I didn't want to spray my arms down. So I just have 4 around the neck. And we ended up covering some others that are very, very influential for me. So yeah, that's basically what it comes down to. With that said, let me go to Bane's question because we'll end on Bane's question. Is there anything that you've done that you still feel guilty about to this day? The answer would be no, Bane. Do not. I try not to do anything shady or anything like that. So I have no guilt-ridden decisions that I regret. I try to live by the no regrets. Yes, I agree. You are a pussy, Bane. I agree. I try to live by the no regrets mentality, not no regrets like the tattoo from the movie, but no regrets. Because if you try your best to not have any regrets, guess what? You won't have regrets. So try to put out good energy and good things into the world, and you'll get good things and good energy back. Is basically what it comes down to. But on that note, Peach Tea Monster and Wild Berry Monster are the best. Hey, Each their own. So on that note, we have hit an hour. No, I just give Bane a hard time because he's just the guy you need to give a hard time to. But I appreciate you. What is this? Then there's no shortage of old fat guys who show up wearing the $20 shirt and tie TJ Maxx combo for various fragrance reviews. I don't know what you're referring to, but that's kind of funny. I mean, pretty much most people that are on YouTube are on Instagram too. But no, that doesn't really sway me. Nobody in particular. But, and yeah, definitely shout out to Gerard. Right back at you, Bane. So we'll go ahead and shut it down. Make sure to like this stream if you haven't liked it yet. Check out today's double review if you're interested in anything from Creed. I reviewed Ventus Cologne and Original Santal today, two that I think are underappreciated from the house, especially Original Santal. That stuff's not really underappreciated, and I think Ventus Cologne's better than Ventus. I said it. It's a taste thing, and it's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. And until next time, I'll catch you guys on the next one. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Have a good one, guys.